Very good evening. You're watching Free Press Journal live on YouTube and on Twitter. Zubeen Garg drowned while swimming off the Lazarus Island. Now, this is an area which lies in the Singapore Strait, which is a busy waterway that connects the South China Sea on one side with the Strait of Malacca on the other. Now, this particular stretch is said to be treacherous, dangerous, mysterious, according to several reports. And now Zubeen Garg's wife has come out and raised a question that why was Zubin taken to this particular stretch, to this particular island on that fateful day of 19th of September when his untimely demise, an unfortunate demise happened. Zubin's death has shaken every Assamese to the core. It's a collective loss and it's an irreparable loss. There is collective mourning. I have never seen, growing up in Assam, being from the state myself, never seen any incident. And Assam has seen quite a few agitations which has brought people down on the street, but never like this. Zubin carved a niche of his own, and his niche kept growing. We didn't even know that an entire world was growing around Zubin. Nobody noticed until he passed away. And then we saw the tsunami of people. One of the content creators from Assam who I have been following avidly is Aboyob Bhuyan. He's a digital creator, a podcaster. He's a media entrepreneur from Assam, very young boy, but doing very well. A founder of a media platform called Truth India and the Untold podcast. He focuses on politics, development issues, regional news, and he's got a fantastic style of storytelling. I'm going to, in fact, share the screen in just a bit on Aboyob's YouTube channel as well. Very good evening, Aboyob. Thank you. Dhanyabad. Thank you for joining us.
Namaskar, ma'am. Good evening. It's very nice joining you.
My pleasure entirely. So, Etia Kothatu Enekwa, Aboyob, now the thing is that there is a lot of chatter around the circumstances of Zubin's death. I saw your video and I'm going to share that as well with our viewers, that questions are being raised on the people who were around him and who knew about, I saw Zubin just 2 weeks before this unfortunate incident in Mumbai, because his last performance was in Mumbai. He was here in NCPA, just hardly a kilometer from where I'm sitting right now. And his performance was on the occasion of a commemorative event for Bhupen Hazarika. He looked frail. And we now know, of course, those who are from Assam already knew that he had a history of epilepsy. And his managers, people who are around him knew this. And then to push him, or rather not in literally push him, but rather to even allow him to go into this situation and to jeopardize something that could risk his life is something that is being raised now. What are your thoughts? Share your thoughts and your observations on this incident with us.
So the very first time when I got the news, it was around, I guess, 12:30 or 1 p.m., where a message popped up in my news group. So we got that there are rumors circulating that Zubeen Garg is no more. So my immediate reaction was, this is never going out. Don't you dare put up something like that, because Zubin can never die. That was our first thought. And immediately after that, I got a series of updates from different places and eventually got the confirmed story that Zubeen Garg is dead. He is no more. But the first news that we got is he died during paragliding. And immediately after 15-20 minutes, we got an update that it was not paragliding, it was in fact scuba diving. So just recently, we got the update that the CMD of Prague News, one of the prominent news channel, Sanjeev Narayan, was present during that moment. And it was him who circulated the news that Zubin died due to scuba diving. So the immediate effect was completely heartbreaking for us. Definitely, even if we are into this profession, it is not anyone else's death. It was Zubeen Garg's death. So we were all waiting for a confirmation, and we were all very much nervous, in fact, because we didn't want to break a story that might be not true. And in fact, after breaking the story, we were living with a hope that this is a fake story and we will come up with a clarification that he is alive. But sadly, that was not true. Within a few hours, we got to know about the people. We got access to some of the videos, and then we got the entire timeline of the story. So my team got connected with members of the Assam Association to follow up and have an idea of what exactly happened. But by that time, the organizer of the Northeastern Festival, Shyamkanu Mahanta, he already had interviewed with 2 channels who were present during that event. During those interviews, he made certain claims. Immediately, he went off the interview. That interview was published, and then immediately after a few hours, when he started receiving backlash, the interviews were deleted. That certainly rose some
What did he say
suspicion
in
over
those
him.
interviews? What exactly did he say?
He was stating that it was some sort of an accident. He was during it was during a business meet when he received a call that Zubeen Garg met with an accident, after which he passed away. But he was completely nervous. He did not know the sequence of the event. In fact, later on, we got the confirmation that after he got the news, he was least interested in visiting Zubin, but instead he was attending the business meet which he was already organizing on the sidelines of Northeast Festival. So later on, he went to the hospital after Zubeen Garg was shifted, and following that, he gave on those interviews, which after he even deleted it. So we were not really clear with what exactly happened. We did not have first-hand information, despite big personalities, journalists, and in fact, owners of media channels being present at that particular spot. So that certainly rose some suspicion. And by the night, we started to assess what might have gone wrong. And then we got to know that it was a complete negligence from the organizers' part, as they were taking the care of Zubeen Garg, taking the care that what his exact schedule will be when he will be in Singapore. And despite knowing about Zubeen Garg's previous health condition and strict warning from doctor that he must be kept away from heat or water, it was completely shocking for us that these were some of the people who presented themselves to be very close with Zubin when he was alive. And for those people to take Zubin to certain places which might be dangerous for him, raise our first question. And immediately we started questioning, we started to cover different angles. And from the second day onwards, very secretively and very suspiciously, certain videos started to level on the internet. We still do not know who leaked those videos, but every day there were different videos that were going viral, and sequentially it was being taken out. So these certain aspects rose some certain question and suspicion over this act not being merely an accident, but could be and maybe certainly it is now clear that it is a clear case of negligence.
Yeah, because in your video, Aboyob, you are saying that Kune hatya korile. Now you have started taking that line, which is why I wanted to have a word with you. That how did you come to think of this line? That now you are so convinced that there is foul play. Also, Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi, let's
of the Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma ji is extremely dubious. Is it because the manager has close links to the BJP, as shown in the media, that he is a member of the cultural cell of the BJP party? Or is it because the event organizer, Shyamkanu Mahanta, has very close ties with BJP ministers and leaders in Delhi and Dispur?
People of the Assam has raised justice for Zubin. Is there your party will also take up any action?
We, seeing the shoddy investigation, we doubt whether the truth will be revealed. I suspect till the time Himanta Biswa Sarma remains the Chief Minister of Assam, we will never know how did Zubeen Garg die.
So this is very direct. It's quite direct. Until now, this kind of a political, face-off has not happened. And you can tell us more about this, why this has become so political as well. And now the Congress has really come front and center to target Himanta, questioning links with the suspects. And the response, of course, we've heard, we'll play that out as well, that Himanta, the Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma ji has decided to send a team to Singapore. I think the team has already landed in Singapore, and there is supposed to be an arrest today. Tell us more about that and the political angle as well.
Firstly, Gaurav Gogoi was completely silent when he was initially asked about this question. My home is barely 500 meters from Zubeen Garg's home, and our office is just above my home. So my reporters were there day and night. When Gaurav first visited Zubin's place, the first question was, do you feel Shyamkanu Mahanta has a role to play? And he was completely silent then. He said, since investigation is going on, I don't want to comment on it. And it was fair enough. But on the internet as well, Gaurav Gogoi did not make a single comment about Shyamkanu Mahanta. But later on, it became political after Himanta Biswa Sarma gave a Facebook live, and that is when we started labeling it as a murder. Himanta Biswa Sarma was clearly stating that Zubeen Garg or Hotta Kando Kune Koisil, who was involved in Zubeen Garg's murder case. So after the government rose that certain allegation that this is supposed to be a murder case, since the government has already launched an CID inquiry, have even formed an SIT, we have started taking up that narrative because negligence is in fact a bigger crime. Just a few months back, we did a story here in Guwahati Medical College. 3 kids, those were just 2-3 days old. They were kept in the NICU. Due to negligence, one child died by hanging on the rope of a wire. The kid was hung on a wire. And after the death, there was a severe protest. Chief Minister had to go to GMCH. He claimed responsibility and eventually he suspended the doctor in charge and the nurse in charge and even jailed them. So if those doctors and nurses were arrested and held accountable for negligence, Shyamkanu Mahanta being the organizer, Siddhartha Sharma being the manager, and the members of the Assam Association being the organizer of that particular yacht event have to be held accountable as well. We have to be fair on that part. Secondly, coming to the political angle, Himanta Biswa Sarma during his Facebook live made it clear that if he cannot serve justice to Zubeen Garg, people should not vote for him on 2026. I feel that was the point since when it became political.
Himanta's statement.
Assistant treaty. এই ট্ৰিটিখনক ইনভোক কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আজি গৃহ মন্ত্ৰালয়লৈকে আমি প্ৰস্তাৱ পঠিয়াইছোঁ। তেখেতসকলে এই প্ৰস্তাৱ ছিংগাপুৰলৈকে প্ৰেৰণ কৰাৰ লগে লগে আমাৰ আৰক্ষী দলো ছিংগাপুৰত আছে। তেওঁৰো আমি তেওঁ ক'ত কেনেকৈ ঘূৰি আছে অলপ সম্ভেদ আমি পাইছোঁ। নিৰ্দিষ্ট সময়ত যদি তেওঁ অসম আৰক্ষীৰ ওচৰত আত্মসমৰ্পণ নকৰে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি তেওঁক ধৰি আনিবই লাগিব আৰু তাৰ ব্যৱস্থা আমি ইতিমধ্যে কৰিছোঁ।
So clearly, the CM is focused on the investigation and also a team has landed there. Now the question that I have put out also for our viewers is that will he be arrested today? Will Shyamkanu Mahanta be arrested tonight? Police or logot jodi hanidhar ahe, if he comes in contact with the team from Assam, will he be brought back immediately? What is your information on this?
The latest information which I had was that the government did not want to bring the accused during Durga Puja since people are already in a festive mode and the mood was not supposed to be ruined. I got an information that just recently a rumor was passed that Shyamkanu Mahanta was in the lounge of the Guwahati airport. I got a call from a toilet cleaner. I have a relation with him. I met him during my visit to the airport and he told me he was waiting with an empty hand and a camera on the other. He would first slap him and then record a video. So that was the sentiment of the ordinary people because so I feel for the government it's also a part to protect the accused because if tomorrow if they bring the accused to Guwahati and if they get attacked by the public, that would again become a political issue. So I feel government is trying to diffuse the sentiments first, but that is also wrong because I feel justice should have been delivered a long time back. It's been 11 days now and the government has clearly failed to act when it was needed. Plus Shyamkanu Mahanta's close links with the government, his family's close ties with Himanta Biswa Sarma is not unknown. But at the same time, Shyamkanu Mahanta shared close ties with Congress leaders as well, with opposition leaders as well. He was a very cunning man. He knew how a photograph could be very hefty or how it could, in some way raise his standards in the society. We from the Assamese community, we still consider photographs or say an individual when he's moving around a powerful individual, we genuinely build a thought that he might be having close ties with that particular personality. So Shyamkanu Mahanta took complete leverage of that, complete advantage of that, which we are currently seeing. But at with the latest update that I got is that 28 seals were recovered from his home, were seized from his home. 28
Hmm.
seals of different government officials of different companies.
Hmm.
He had two
Hmm.
PAN
So
cards of.
clearly he
He was
had
doing something
nullified
fraud,
activities.
definitely.
Hmm.
So I feel the government is also trying to dig in more into his illegal activities, and that
Hmm.
so that he gets well punished for what he did.
I want to actually share your channel because you are mentioning Amrit Prabha Mohanta.
Prabha. Yeah.
Amrit Prabha Mohanta. Who is she? Why is she relevant in this entire saga?
She is actually the co-singer of Zubeen Garg during the Northeast Festival.
Hmm.
So, an interesting fact which I got to know yesterday,
Hmm.
one of my sources from CID told me that during the
Yeah.
interrogation, Amrit Prabha stated in front of the SIT that it was her duty to give Zubeen Garg his medicines.
Hmm.
So the new fact which I learned is that Siddharth alone was not responsible for giving him his daily medicines, but his
Hmm.
co-singers were. So I spoke
Hmm.
to two of his former co-singers as well. They stated the same thing. And Amrit
Hmm.
Prabha was
Hmm.
with Zubin the previous night as well. Uh,
Hmm.
she was asked why Zubin wore the same shirt the next day as well. Because
Hmm.
as
Hmm.
far as we know, Zubin Garg, he was very much fascinated with new clothes. So for
Yeah, he
him
was
to
very
wear the
fashion
same,
forward. Even in his last
yeah,
interview, he's very
yeah,
eclectic sense of fashion he had. When I saw him here
mm,
as well in Mumbai. Yeah,
yeah,
carry on.
definitely.
Hmm.
So for him to wear the same shirt for a yacht
Hmm.
party, and his wife clearly mentioned as well that on
Hmm.
18th he
Hmm.
never mentioned about the yacht party. He was
Hmm.
fascinated with adventure. Recently, they did the shooting of their film Roi Roi Binale in Sri Lanka. They had
Yeah.
water activities there as well. So he was very fascinated with such adventures. But on
Hmm.
18th of September, when he spoke last to his wife, he did not mention about it. So Amrit Prabha knew because she was with him the previous night. According
Hmm.
to her statement to the CID, according to my sources, she claimed that she wanted Zubin to change the shirt. She asked him to wear a black shirt, but Zubin denied, saying that it was a new shirt and it's completely fine to wear it the next day as well. So
Hmm.
Amrit Prabha's close ties have been always suspected. We have been saying it from the first day that she should be
Hmm.
interrogated. She would be knowing much of the story. Plus,
Hmm.
she was on the yacht. She
Hmm.
did not come public when she was interviewed
Hmm.
by the media. She was fumbling when she was asked question. She could
Hmm.
not answer it clearly. So definitely there is some role. She knew certain things which I feel the public should have known to understand the complete sequence. So
Hmm.
these are some of the facts which we learned over the last few days of investigation.
But this post of Shyamkanu Mahanta, which he later deleted, where he
Yeah,
says that I am not involved. চৰকাৰ প্ৰশাসনক সম্পূৰ্ণৰূপে সহযোগিতা কৰিম. I will
he
cooperate
was
with
ready to
people.
surrender.
মোৰ লুকুৱাবলৈ একো নাই. This is what is
Luka
written over
Balai
here in
Yes,
SMS.
nothing to hide. Yeah. So that's a very interesting fact that being an accused, getting summoned by the CID, getting served lookout notice, this individual is getting the opportunity to post all these stuffs on social media. He actually made a big fool of the government and the chief minister, because we have always been hearing about a narrative that Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is proactive in his governance. Even if he see any injustice happening in the society, he's fast to act. But Shyamkanu Mahanta, like individual who belongs to strong and powerful family, clearly played or made fool of out of the government. That despite being served with a CID summon, he's sitting somewhere abroad or sitting somewhere in India and then posting all this stuff on social media. Just recently, we saw how Assam police dragged in Ranveer Alawadia for a very poor joke. So if Ranveer Alabadia can be pulled into Guwahati for interrogation, why not Shyamkanu Mahanta? He should have been dragged till now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have a point there, and I appreciate. I mean, I really like your style. I must compliment you on your, YouTube, the way you present facts. So that is Aboyob viewers for you. That is his channel. But one second, I'm just going to add that first. What I like about your style is that you speak very emphatically. You're a natural anchor, and the facts that you dig out also, of course, is something that you do on your own initiative and with your team. And I therefore wanted to have this conversation with you. But talking about Zubin before we end, Aboyob, you think
Yeah.
what is personally for you? You are Gen Z. You are in your 20s, early 20s, right? Explain to us, for the viewers nationally, why Zubin's loss is a loss for my generation. Zubin was at his peak also,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
probably his peak lasted very long. I mean, every generation has enjoyed his music. We
yeah.
enjoyed a certain kind of music. Now for y'all, it's a different. But tell us about why Zubin touches your generation so much.
Firstly, I feel he lived a life like a king. He stayed as a king and then he died as a king. He
Mm,
always was at a peak, and we never heard Zubin Garg to be the second top artist of Assam. We always, since I was born, at least I was always hearing stories of Zubin being the number one singer or artist from Assam. What I personally felt was that I saw him from a very close framework since he was very close to my family. He was one of my
okay.
father's closest friend. So I have
Mm,
always found him as a mentor. Plus, recently I met him during my podcast. So for me
mm,
to invite him to my podcast was not a very big deal then, because I somewhere share a very close relation with him. But I
mm,
always had
mm.
the idea that I have to nurture myself first to be able to have that quality to interview or sit with a personality like Zubeen Garg. And I was not
Mm,
prepared for my initial years. So I had done my podcast for over 2.5 years, and then I invited him to the podcast. What
mm,
mesmerized me at the first place was that we always know Zubeen Garg, when invited, comes an hour or 2 hours late. But that
mm,
was the first time he gave me a call that I'm coming to your studio. I'll sit with you at 9 p.m. So I
mm,
thought since it's 9 p.m. he would come at 11 a.m. So I was not ready.
mm.
And by 8:45 I heard Zubin Garg was sitting in my drawing room waiting for me. So I asked my dad to go there and talk to him. They had
Your dad, by the
booked.
way, is a very acclaimed journalist, Mr. Ajanu Bhuya. I had the opportunity to meet him while I was working in Assam. And
Yeah.
yes, I mean, no wonder, therefore, you have his journalistic genes. Carry on. Yeah, please carry
Yeah.
on.
When we set for that podcast, Zubinda was clearly saying that I never sit with anyone for more than 30 minutes in a go. And we set for over 1.5 hours. And that episode gave me so much strength because I was also going through a little controversy during that time. And so he
Yeah,
made
I
me so he
mm,
made me ask, and he made me understood that we have to develop a skin of rhino. Rhino is not just our pride, we have to develop its
mm,
trait as well. So we
mm,
just being part of the Gen Z culture or this generation, we just started working with Zubin Garg. He just started understanding how we used to think. And with his
mm,
film, upcoming film Roy Roy Binale, he had immense idea during the publicity, which he had previously asked me as well, that we are going to collaborate before we launch or release our film. So we were very much keen to work with him, to understand and make people understand about him, because I always had the idea that people always misunderstood him. People
mm,
criticized him for every wrong thing. And eventually this is a culture in Assam that when a person die, you become god. People start respecting
mm,
you, but when you are
mm,
living, people do not acclaim for what you do. So
mm,
we had that feeling about him. But right now the sentiments which I have understood from the people after his death is that Zubin Garg is not just an artist or a singer, he is like an emotion for us. For the first
yeah,
time
yeah.
in my lifetime at least, I haven't seen Durga Puja pandals getting focused more on an individual or an artist's song. Entire
Mm,
puja pandals here in Assam are getting the tracks of Zubin Garg. Mayabini is echoing everywhere. So I
mm,
feel
mm,
an
mm,
individual, a person or a human cannot do this. He was some sort of an
mm,
avatar. I may be saying it
mm,
too much,
mm.
but there are certain divine phenomena which I realize, because in Assam, when we
Yeah.
have a rain shower for about 30 minutes, there is waterlogging immediately happening across the city.
Mm,
But when
mm,
Zubinda
mm,
was taken to Sarusarai Stadium, it ran
mm,
and there was no waterlogging, and that happened for 2 straight days.
mm,
Animals
mm,
came down and bowed down in front of his photos. Birds fell
mm,
in
mm,
front of his photo. These are not mere incidents or coincidence. These
mm,
are something
mm.
divine, I feel. So
Yeah.
he was beyond an artist, beyond a singer. He was an emotion, and I feel the young
Mm,
generation, Assam. In fact, people say Assam is a land of lahe lahe. But
mm,
Zubingar, till the age of 52, he
mm,
sang about 38,000 songs, made multiple films,
mm,
did entirely lift the cultural forum of Assam. So I feel
mm,
the Gen Z have to adopt his workaholic culture, and that is how we can keep him alive within us. So Zubeen Garg, I
Beautifully said.
feel,
Yeah.
will be an example for our generation and the generations to come.
And he's respected, Aboyob, if I may add that, the fact that he stayed with his people, the lure of Bollywood, the razzmatazz, the glam and the glory of being a Bollywood superstar or super singer or whatever you might like to call it, never attracted him. He knew he could do it on his own grit and he showed it. That is why I think he inspires a lot of people who cannot possibly step out of Assam or make a name elsewhere, but knows that if Zubin could do it, maybe we can also do it
Like,
at some point.
I
I
just
want
want to add. I just want to
Hmm,
add one point. Zubeen Garg
hmm,
was always very clear with the idea that Bollywood cannot suppress him. He always
hmm,
had the idea that I would come back to Assam and do it for my
yeah.
region or do it for my state. So
Hmm,
the Northeastern Festival, interestingly, Shyamkanu Mahanta used to promote Zubeen Garg as a Bollywood singer. That is a
hmm,
fact which I
hmm.
just recently learned, and that really hurt me because I believe
That must
Zubeen
have
Garg
hurt
never.
Zubin as well because he never liked to only project some Bollywood identity. It was not
Definitely.
his identity
So
at
that
all. And
was
now I
completely
see so
wrong.
many posts saying that why people are introducing him as reducing him
Bollywood.
to one
Yeah.
movie and one, that was
Song.
not what Zubin is. And I'm glad you said that as well. As we
Yeah.
close this conversation, Aboyu, I want to again share something with my viewers. And this is your post from Twitter. And why
Yeah.
I'm sharing this is because it's very interesting what Aboyob has pointed out here. This particular post is about two pictures, two stories. One is the TVK Vijay's rally. 35,000 people suffered a heartbreaking stampede. 41 dead. Among them were at least 16 women and 8 children. Second picture is Zubin Garg's last ride. 15 lakh people gathered, walked, and ran along with the ambulance and for miles, no stampede. Maybe a bit of chaos, but nothing happened. The government, administration, everyone played an important role. But look at this. This is again another miracle. How
Yeah.
beautifully everybody, I mean, this entire last rise, the journey took place with that kind of turnout. With 1/10 or much less, look at the stampedes that are happening in this country.
Definitely. And I
That's
was standing here outside his residence. I could feel the vibration. I could feel the ground moving when lakhs of people came along that ambulance. So I was having that fear that people can have a stampede there. Somebody can die, but it never
Mhm.
happened because the police must be credited on this. The administration must definitely, because it was a very well planned route. So people cannot make a chaotic situation there. Plus the people of Assam, they were completely in love, they were sentimental, but at the same time they were aware to not make the situation any unbearable or
Unruly.
make a
Yeah.
situation that is unruly. So I feel that these are some certain things which the other states can learn from us. In Bangalore we saw the IPL stampede as well. So
Yeah.
celebrations leading to stampede, and then that is completely tragic. So I feel these models are some of the inspiring models from Northeast or Assam that should be discussed at the national forum and can be taken as an inspiration by the other states as well. Otherwise, Assam is very least talked about. Only controversies makes through the headlines.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel these are some of the stories that should make the headlines as well.
Absolutely, Abhay. And as I close this conversation, tell me what is the emotion right now with people of Assam? What is the mood like? It's Durga Puja. Normally, this is a festive season, and I shudder to think what is going to happen around Bihu, like when Zubin used to do so many performances. Uh, but what is the mood like over there at the moment with all these controversies and a festive season? It's such a contradictory situation.
Everywhere I go, people are just saying one thing: we need justice. We want Zubin Garg to lay down peacefully, and we deserve to know the truth. People, though, are getting going to the shopping malls, but they do not. They are not enjoying Durga Puja. For me personally, I am at least not buying anything this time. I don't feel like going out as well. But the mood is same. The government thought the emotion would run down. People will start forgetting like any other issue. But I want to remind the government and the chief minister that this is not a mere protest. This is not an andolon that a government can shut down. This is an emotion that will run through. On November, we are celebrating Zubin Garg's 53rd birthday as well. on 18 November, if I'm not wrong. So I feel the emotions will be high then as well. So it's high time for the government to serve justice, to bring down the culprits, make them, arrest them, in fact drag them, and not give any protection to them at least, so that people at least feel a bit light, knowing the fact that they know the entire story of what happened with Zubin, and that the negligence that some people did, they are punished for that. Unless the government acts, I feel the emotions will only run up high, and I really fear if this would take another turn. So
Yeah.
there are detains been
It
made
has to be
already.
handled carefully, and of
Definitely,
course, there's anger, but then at least I think we both should appeal to people that let law take its course. Let people
definitely.
not
And
do
Nepal should
vigilante
never be
justice,
in.
and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that should not be a benchmark. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah,
But if the culprit, if the so-called suspects are brought back, let the administration handle the situation rather than people, because when emotions run high, there's vigilante justice, there is mob justice. Let none of that happen in honor of
yeah,
Zubin, is what I would
yeah.
say.
Truly, truly, truly.
Thank
Zubeen
you.
Garg would have never wanted to see an Assam like this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aboyob. Pleasure
Absolutely.
talking to you. Really means a
Thank you,
lot
ma'am.
that you shared your thoughts with us. Thanks very
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
I leave it at that for now. Viewers, do feel free to put in your comments and send us what you think about the story, about the observations shared by Oboyub with us this evening.